At 22, John had just graduated with a degree in design and came to New York to start a business. Without any fame, he struggled to find a foothold in the highly competitive design market. One day, he went to a large furniture store in New Jersey to buy a wardrobe and casually asked the owner, "Do you have a furniture catalog?" To his surprise, the owner replied, "No." This response made John realize an opportunity. It turned out that in the entire furniture market, almost no stores had their own catalogs, and no design companies were willing to create them. John had a sudden idea and suggested to the owner, "I can design a catalog for you, and I guarantee it will boost your sales." The owner, however, shook his head and said, "We don't have the budget." John smiled and responded, "You don't need to pay. I can exchange the catalog for furniture." The owner thought this was a good proposal, so he agreed. After John completed the catalog design and distributed it to customers, the furniture store's sales indeed increased significantly. Word spread quickly, and other furniture stores reached out to John, hoping he could design catalogs for them as well. Before long, 70% of the stores in the New Jersey furniture market had catalogs designed by him, and this allowed him to earn his first pot of gold. Even more unexpectedly, shortly after, a senior executive from the well-known American furniture chain Home Depot contacted him. When Home Depot was evaluating potential furniture brands for collaboration, they noticed that many companies' catalogs were designed by the same person, which piqued their curiosity, leading them to meet this designer. During their meeting, the executive said, "I hear your designs are quite good, so why don't you design a business card for me?" At that time, the design fee for a box of business cards was just a few $dozen, but John accepted without hesitation. The next day, he delivered the designed business card, and the executive was very satisfied with his work. Seizing the opportunity, John suggested, "I think your brand logo, CI, design could be improved." The executive was taken aback, but then said, "In that case, why don't you help us redesign it?" This is how John landed a brand design order worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from Home Depot, and the current Home Depot logo is his work. Since then, John worked with Home Depot for over a decade and became known in the industry as the #1 in furniture design planning. In 2008, John planned to hold an American brand summit, but finding a venue was a challenge. The venue not only needed high-end facilities, but the rent also had to be within a reasonable range. He soon thought of the newly available Madison Square Garden in New York, which had just opened after the 2008 Olympics. When he contacted the venue's management, he learned that the daily rental fee was as high as $500,000. This made him hesitate, but he also sensed that the high rental fee indicated that the management was eager to recover their initial investment. John seized this opportunity and arranged a meeting with the venue's general manager. During their conversation, he asked, "How do you plan to make such a large venue profitable after the Olympics?" The general manager, feeling troubled, mentioned that this was precisely their headache, and they hoped John could offer some advice. John had a sudden idea and said, "If I can attract 10,000 entrepreneurs, 1,000 media reporters, and 100 event planning experts to this place, it would undoubtedly be the best promotion for you." The general manager chuckled and said, "But we don't have that much money, nor do we know that many people." John smiled and responded, "It just so happens that I am planning a large event, and I have already contacted over 100 planning experts, thousands of entrepreneurs, and nearly 1,000 media reporters." Hearing this, the general manager immediately said, "Great, this event must be held here." John replied, "But I can't afford $500,000 a day." The general manager quickly changed his offer, "No need for rent. As long as you can make the event a success, we'll be satisfied." On October 1, 2008, the second American Brand Summit was held grandly at Madison Square Garden, attracting over 15,000 participants. It set a new record for the venue's usage after the Olympics, becoming a successful model for commercial utilization of the stadium, while John only paid a symbolic amount for venue maintenance. Today, John is the Secretary General of the American Brand Alliance and is regarded as a pioneer in the field of brand promotion in the United States. He has used his experience to prove the philosophy of not aiming to be the first, but to be the only one, focusing on areas unexplored by his peers, integrating his own resources, and building a high peak of career and wealth for himself.